So today I'm building a PC. This is gonna be my first PC build. I got, my bad, Asus Prime B350 Plus motherboard. Was reading a lot of reviews and it's really great for the Ryzen build that I'm doing. I'm doing a R7 1700. And then I got 16 gigabytes of RAM, DDR4 of course. GTX 1060. I was gonna get a 1070, but it's $150 more. And I was like, nah, I'll just get a 1060. It's overclocked. Oh, this is for the Wi-Fi. The case I'll be using is a Roswell Cullinan. It's a beautiful case. Here's a EVGA 550 watts, 80 plus, so it's good on electricity. I thought that was all I needed. It's not gonna be a crazy build. It's not gonna be like overclocked or anything, I think. So the Ryzen 1700 comes with its own fan, so I'm not sure how good of a fan the AMD fan is. So we're gonna figure that out. It looks like it's a very good box, this Roswell Cullinan. It looks like it'll get amazing airflow. Fan right there, like 3 fans over there inside. So we have opened up the box. Took off the other tempered glass piece, which is somewhere over there. We've also uncovered what's in here. Here's the Asus motherboard. Looks very nice. The EVGA power brick is in there. The Ryzen fan and the Ryzen chip is in here. Ryzen came out with very good chips. I did a ton of research to get a good bang out of my buck, I guess. But anyways, here's the GTX 1060, the GPU. It's very large, very large. This thing looks like a freaking beast. So here's the motherboard, a couple ports here and there, mouse and keyboard. At least I'm pretty sure that's what it is. These are USBs for the monitor. You got your necessities, the USB ports, the HDMI, obviously the auxiliaries. Here's your motherboard. Here's your chip, the Ryzen. Let's see how it does. But anyways, in order to put this on, you see that arrow thing right there in the corner? You gotta match that with, so I don't know if you see that bottom left corner and you see like a little matching triangle. Well, that's where you put this chip at. You gotta match that to that corner right there. That's it, and then you just close it down. Now we gotta put on that fan, and in order to do that, we gotta take these out. These right there. So we're gonna have to be doing that right now, so let's get to it. So now we just align the fan right where the holes are at. Oh. And we just screw them in once they're settled. They're settled now. And you kind of want to like do an X pattern, so you start right here, go right there, right here, and then there. So that way it's all evened out perfectly and it doesn't look all wango, Spanish slang. So now that the fan is nice and sturdy, you want to clip this cable onto one of the connectors. So placing RAM is quite simple. You just kind of just place it there. You're gonna hear a loud snap, and as you're pressing down, it's kind of gonna feel like you're breaking it, but that's not the case. I assure you, it's quite simple. So next, you're gonna want to get the ports frame, and you kind of want to place it there before you put on the motherboard. It's right there behind the box. In order to put it on, you kind of just want to get it from behind and snap it by pushing it forward, and the ledges right here around it are gonna expand and then just keep it in place. So this AMD fan comes with RGB lights. You're gonna want to plug it in. There's a little connector in the back, and you plug it into the motherboard as well, other than the fan. Once you got the RGB wire connected, you want to look at that arrow right there on the connector and make sure you put it on the 12 volt plus. Make sure that the arrow is pointing at it. Now that you got the motherboard all bolted up, not bolted up, my bad, screwed in, you're gonna want to find the connector for this one, for this fan. You're gonna want to connect it. Next thing to do is to plug up the wires. And if you want to zip tie them, that way it doesn't look all messy, that's a plus. So that's what we're gonna do here next. So things are starting to get a little more difficult. The wiring took me a while. So after I built it all and had it all completed, there was no video signal on the monitor. So we're gonna have to troubleshoot that right now and see what we're gonna get. First of all, I'm gonna take out the graphics card and see if video output comes through the motherboard, and then we'll just go from there. So after lots of research through manuals and stuff, it turned out to be that I needed this connector right here. It's the CPU 4+4/8. I'm not familiar with wires, so I'm not gonna get specific with it. But anyways, I don't know where I fucking read it, but it told me that I didn't need it, that was only for overclocking. So I didn't put it on. I was like, oh, I guess I don't need it then. And so since I do need it, look, I even messed up my thermal paste with my fan, so I have to get more thermal paste and plug it all back in and figure out what's going on. But I need to do that, get thermal paste, fix the fan, plug this into the power supply, and it should be all good, and the BIOS should boot up after that. Hopefully that's it. Man, I wanted to finish yesterday and I couldn't figure it out, but at least I found out what the problem was now and I could fix it. So the reason I took out the fan was because I took out the CPU to figure out whether the pins were bent or not. They turned out to not be bent. But before that, I took out the motherboard, the GPU. I took it out and I connected the monitor onto the pins onto the I connected the monitor onto the HDMI socket, and then it still wouldn't like boot up or anything. And I was like, okay, what's the problem? And that's how I moved up to the RAM, and then I moved it around, and I messed with the battery, the motherboard, like little battery over there, and it still wouldn't boot up. I completely disconnected my power supply and it still wouldn't boot up, and I was like, okay, and that's when I took out the fan, took out the CPU, check if they were bent. They were fine, and I was like, damn, what the hell is going on then? And then so I go into my manual. This is why it's a good idea to read your manuals even though you're fucking stubborn. That way you figure it out. So take a look here. Do not, I don't know if you guys can see that. Do not forget to connect the 4-pin, 8-pin ATX plus 12-volt power plug. Otherwise the system will not boot up. See, that is why it's a good idea to read your manuals. And then I was like, damn, I was frustrated, but it's all good now. Check this out. So I misread it. Connect the 4+4 pin EPS 12-volt cable to the motherboard. Optional if you plan on extreme overclocking and your motherboard supports additional 8-pin or 4-pin CPU power, then it's optional. So because I guess I skipped over through that and I just thought optional, so that means I didn't need it. And if I would have kept looking around, it would have told me over here, motherboards only require one 4+4 or 8-pin EPS connection. So because of that, because I was in a rush, I got stuck, and yeah, I just misread it, I guess. Hey, but that's a rookie mistake, we all learn. So after lots of battling, I finally got it running. It's on the screen and stuff. I'm just gonna check online to see if it's good temperatures. I don't think you can read it, but it says 42 Celsius. I think that's a good temperature. I'm not sure, but we'll take a look. Motherboard temperatures at 29 Celsius. Thank you for watching the video. If you like what you saw, please leave a like. So this is pretty much the conclusion. I like my PC a lot. It's been very helpful to me with videos, games, and all that kind of stuff. Even making content for like meme. Did I just say memes already? I don't know, but anyways, what I'm trying to say is the PC has been one of the best experiences I've ever had. I'm glad I sold my Xbox. I could do much more with my PC than I can with that. I don't know about PS4. I don't know how that would have been transitioned, but basically all the games that I wanted on Xbox, I have them on PC, and I have some games from PS4 on the PC that I could play with. Most of the time I'm not even gaming though. Most of the time I'm working on some videos like the one I'm working on right now, for example. But yeah, it's been a good run. I already say like the money I spent on it has been well worth it, so there's nothing to complain about. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Any questions down below. Peace.